finding yourself in a chaotic society. In the whirlwind of modern life, it's easy to feel like you're drowning. The world around us buzzes with noise, endless notifications, breaking news, social media feeds, and the constant pressure to be someone, to do something, to prove something. Society feels like a storm, a chaotic swirl of expectations, judgments, and distractions that pull us in every direction. Somewhere in this chaos, we lose sight of something precious, ourselves. But here's the truth. You can find yourself again. No matter how loud the world gets, no matter how heavy the weight of expectations feels, there's a quiet, unshakable part of you waiting to be rediscovered. This journey of finding yourself in a chaotic society isn't just possible. It's one of the most rewarding paths you'll ever walk. Let's start by acknowledging the chaos. We live in a world that never slows down. Every day, we're bombarded with messages telling us who we should be. Social media shows us curated lives, perfect careers, perfect bodies, perfect relationships. The news screams of division, conflict, and uncertainty. Our workplaces demand more hours, more productivity, more hustle. Even our loved ones, with the best intentions, sometimes push us toward paths that don't feel like our own. It's overwhelming. It's exhausting. And in the middle of it all, we start to wonder, who am I? What do I want? Where do I fit in this mess? I've been there. Maybe you have too. There was a time in my life when I felt like I was running on a treadmill that someone else had set to full speed. I was chasing goals I didn't choose, living up to standards I didn't set, and wearing masks to fit into spaces that never felt like home. I was successful by society's standards. A good job, a busy schedule, a life that looked full from the outside. But inside, I felt empty. I had lost touch with the person I was, the dreams I had, the values that once lit me up. The chaos of the world had drowned out my own voice. If you're nodding along, feeling that same disconnection, let me tell you something. You're not alone. And more importantly, you're not lost forever. Finding yourself isn't about escaping the chaos, it's about learning to navigate it, to carve out a space where your true self can breathe, grow, and thrive. It's about rediscovering the spark that makes you you, even when the world tries to dim it. So, how do we do it? How do we find ourselves in a society that feels like it's pulling us apart? Let's walk through this together, step by step, with hope and courage as our guides. Pause and listen. The first step to finding yourself is simple but not easy. Pause. In a world that glorifies hustle and constant motion, pausing feels like rebellion. But it's in the quiet moments that we start to hear ourselves again. Think about it. When was the last time you sat still, without your phone, without a to-do list, without the noise of the world? When was the last time you asked yourself what you want, not what the world expects? Start small. Find 5 minutes today to sit in silence. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and listen. Not to the chatter of your mind or the demands of your schedule, but to the quiet voice beneath it all. That voice is you. It might be faint at first, drowned out by years of noise, but it's there. It might whisper about a dream you've forgotten, a passion you've buried, or a value you've compromised. Whatever it says, listen without judgment. This is where the journey begins, not with grand gestures, but with a moment of stillness. For me, This moment came on a rainy afternoon when I was stuck in traffic feeling like my life was a checklist I'd never complete. I turned off the radio, ignored my phone, and just sat there, letting the rain tap against the windshield. In that pause, I realized how tired I was, not just physically, but emotionally. I was tired of pretending, tired of chasing someone else's version of success. That moment of stillness didn't fix everything, but it was the first step toward hearing my own voice again. Question the noise. Once you've started to listen, the next step is to question the noise around you. Society is loud, and it's full of stories about who you should be. You're told to climb the corporate ladder, to look a certain way, to have the perfect family or the perfect Instagram feed. But here's the thing. Those stories aren't yours. They're scripts written by a world that thrives on conformity, not individuality. Ask yourself, whose expectations am I trying to meet? Are you pursuing that degree because it's your passion or because it's what your parents wanted? Are you staying in that job because it fulfills you or because it's what society calls stable? Are you saying yes to things that make your heart say no? These questions aren't easy, but they're necessary. They help you peel back the layers of external pressure and get closer to your core. I remember the day I questioned the noise. I was scrolling through social media, feeling inadequate because my life didn't look like the influencers' highlight reels. Then it hit me. I was comparing myself to a mirage. Those perfect lives weren't real, and more importantly, they weren't my life. I started asking myself what I valued: time with loved ones, creative freedom, moments of joy over material success. That shift in perspective was like turning down the volume on the world's chaos and tuning into my own frequency. Reconnect with your roots. Finding yourself isn't just about looking forward, it's about looking back. Your true self is tied to your roots, the passions, dreams, and values that shaped you before the world told you who to be. Think about the things that lit you up as a child. Maybe you loved drawing, writing stories, or exploring nature. Maybe you dreamed of traveling the world or helping others. Those sparks are still inside you, even if they've been buried under years of shoulds and musts. Take some time to reconnect with those roots. Pull out an old photo album, revisit a childhood hobby, or write a letter to your younger self. Ask that younger version of you what they wanted, what they loved, what made them feel alive. You'll be surprised at how those answers still resonate. For me, reconnecting meant picking up a guitar I hadn't touched in years. I wasn't great at it, but strumming those familiar chords brought back a sense of freedom I'd forgotten. It reminded me that I'm more than my job, my to-do list, or my social media profile. I'm a person with passions and dreams that deserve space to grow. Set boundaries. In a chaotic society, one of the most powerful things you can do is set boundaries. Boundaries aren't just about saying no to others. They're about saying yes to yourself. They're about protecting your time, your energy, and your heart from the things that pull you away from who you are. Start by identifying the people, places, or habits that drain you. Maybe it's a toxic friendship that leaves you feeling small. Maybe it's the endless scroll through social media that makes you feel inadequate. Maybe it's saying yes to every request at work, leaving no time for your own goals. Whatever it is, recognize that you have the power to say, "This isn't for me." You don't have to cut everything out at once, But you can start small, mute that group chat, take a break from certain apps, or politely decline an invitation that doesn't align with your values. Setting boundaries was a game changer for me. I used to say yes to every opportunity, thinking it would make me more successful, more likable, more enough. But all it did was stretch me thin. Setting boundaries was a game changer for me. I used to say yes to every opportunity, thinking it would make me more successful, more likable, more enough. But all it did was stretch me thin. When I started saying no to things that didn't serve me, I created space for the things that did. Time to write, to connect with loved ones, to just be. It wasn't easy, and it didn't happen overnight. But every boundary I set felt like a step toward reclaiming myself. Embrace imperfection. Here's a truth that society doesn't tell you. You don't have to be perfect to be whole. The pressure to have it all together, to have the perfect career, body, or life, is one of the biggest lies we're sold. Finding yourself means embracing your imperfections, your quirks, your messy, beautiful humanity. It means realizing that you're enough, just as you are, chaos and all. This step is hard because it requires vulnerability. It means letting go of the masks you wear to fit in and showing up as your authentic self, flaws and all. But here's the magic. When you embrace your imperfections, you give others permission to do the same. I struggled with this for years. I thought I had to be polished, put together, and flawless to be worthy. But the moment I let myself be real, admitting my fears, sharing my doubts, laughing at my mistakes, I felt lighter. I realized that my imperfections weren't weaknesses. They were part of what made me unique. And the more I showed up as my true self, the more I attracted people and opportunities that aligned with who I am, not who I thought I had to be. Take small, brave steps. Finding yourself isn't a one-time event. It's a series of small, brave steps. It's about trying new things, taking risks, and stepping outside your comfort zone, even when it feels scary. Maybe it's signing up for that art class you've always wanted to take. Maybe it's having an honest conversation with someone you love. Maybe it's leaving a job that no longer serves you or starting a project that lights you up. Whatever it is, don't wait for the perfect moment, because the perfect moment doesn't exist. Start with one small action today. Write down a dream you've been ignoring. Tell someone you trust about a goal you're afraid to pursue. Take a walk in nature and let your mind wander. These small steps don't just move you forward. They remind you that you have the power to shape your own path no matter how chaotic the world feels. For me, one of those steps was starting a journal. I began writing down my thoughts, fears, and dreams, not to share with anyone but to understand myself better. Those pages became a safe space where I could be honest, where I could rediscover what mattered to me. Over time, those small entries led to bigger changes, a new career path, deeper relationships, a life that felt more like mine. Surround yourself with your people. No one finds themselves alone. We need people who see us, who lift us up, who remind us of who we are when we forget. In a chaotic society, it's easy to fall into relationships that feel transactional or superficial. But finding yourself means surrounding yourself with people who value your authentic self, people who celebrate your quirks, support your dreams, and challenge you to grow. Take a moment to think about the people in your life. Who makes you feel seen? Who inspires you to be better? who listens without judgment. Those are your people. Invest in those relationships. Spend less time with those who drain you or push you to be someone you're not. And if you don't have those people yet, don't be afraid to seek them out. Join a community, take a class, or connect with others who share your passions. My tribe came together slowly. It started with one friend who saw through my facade and called me out lovingly on the ways I was hiding. Over time, I found others, a mentor who believed in me, a group of creatives who inspired me, a family member who reminded me of my roots. They didn't just support me, they reflected back the parts of myself I'd forgotten. They gave me the courage to keep going. Keep going, even when it's hard. The journey to find yourself isn't linear. There will be days when you feel connected, alive, and sure of who you are. And there will be days when the chaos creeps back in, when doubt whispers that you're not enough, when the world feels too heavy. That's okay. Finding yourself doesn't mean reaching a destination where everything is perfect. It means committing to the process, even when it's hard. On those tough days, remind yourself why you started. Look back at the moments of clarity, the sparks of joy, the glimpses of your true self. Keep pausing, keep questioning, keep taking small steps. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to keep showing up for yourself, one day at a time. I still have days when I feel lost. The chaos of the world doesn't go away, and neither do the doubts. But I've learned to trust the process. I've learned that every step, no matter how small, is a victory. And I've learned that the person I'm becoming, the person I'm finding, is worth every moment of effort. You are enough. As we wrap up this journey together, I want to leave you with this. You are enough. Right now, in this moment, with all your dreams and doubts, your strengths and struggles, you are enough. The chaos of society might try to tell you otherwise, but it's wrong. Your worth isn't tied to your productivity, your appearance, or your achievements. It's tied to the fact that you are here, uniquely you, with a light that no one else can shine. Finding yourself in a chaotic society isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you've always been. It's about peeling back the layers of noise and expectation to uncover the person who's been there all along. It's about choosing every day to listen to your own voice, to honor your own path, to live a life that feels true. So take a deep breath, pause, listen, question, reconnect, set boundaries, embrace your imperfections, take small, brave steps. Surround yourself with people who see you, and keep going even when it's hard. The world may be chaotic, but you are stronger than the storm. You are capable of finding yourself, of creating a life that's yours, of shining your light in a way that changes everything. This is your journey. This is your story. And it's just beginning.